Yo, what's up guys, it's Yeti Edits here, bringing you another tutorial. Today's tutorial is going to be showing you guys how to make your own color correction and magic bullet looks. So, I made a little example here for what we'll be working on today, so I'll let you see this real quick. So that's a little example of what we'll be doing. And, one, to give you guys a little warning, you do need this is an additional plugin. You do not automatically have this on your After Effects, so you will need to additionally get a plugin for this. It does cost money, so you will have to buy it off the Red Giant website. But let's get into it. So I want to make sure everybody knows that this is all by you. You don't have to copy every single setting I do. I prefer you don't. But if you do, make sure you at least toy around with the settings before you just keep it looking exactly like mine. Because that usually, like marks where you are, like your territory kind of thing. So I just suggest you guys do that. So as you can see, we got a little bit of nice spot exposure right in the middle, or a nice spot exposure right in the middle, and stuff like that. So you can prepare to see what we'll be working on today. So you want to create a new composition and drag your clip in. After that, all you gotta do is right click, you go to new, and make an adjustment layer. After that, you can, make sure everything's okay. So I'm gonna just mess around with this. So I'm just messing around with this, make sure I get the clip perfectly. Alright, that seems about right for me. Now, click the adjustment layer, go up here to effect, and throw on your magic bullet looks. And now just go up to edit as soon as you get your magic bullet looks on the adjustment layer. So, as you can see everything okay. So all you gotta do is you just gotta go over tools and experiment. So for subject, we're gonna start over here. For subject, all you really want to do for subject is just throw on some contrast. Yeah. So that's what just go up here to contrast and just mess with that a little bit. Right about there, looks nice. You can minus it, which makes it a little ugly. But I prefer to go this in this direction, so it makes it a little bit more darker. If you don't like it that dark, I suggest you put it on like a 200 kind of thing. But yeah, it's basically all you need in subject. I mean, you could try some stuff, but that's all you really need. Yeah. Next is matte. For matte, I don't use a lot of stuff for matte, but I do use spot exposure sometimes, which I'll show you how to use it. Spot exposure just makes the middle darker and lighter, so it gives a little bit more attention towards the middle. So if you move it up, it makes it lighter. So go up here to stops and just move it up. As you can see, it makes it lighter. But you don't want to make it too light. I'm gonna put it on like a 200, or no, like a 150. Yeah. So I put mine on 140, and that's what spot exposure does. You can always extend this, move it around like that. Some people do sometimes. And you could just toy around with that. But that's all you really need in matte. Well, unless you want to use something like diffusion, which I'm not going to show you guys how to use because there's nothing really good about it. Next is lens. You could always use what's it called? What the heck? Vignette, for example. This is pretty helpful. Like as you can see, it makes the as like a ring of darkness. Make sure it's like on the outside like that, and that's about that. You can always use some edge softness. Edge softness isn't really that important, but you can always use it. but you don't want to overdo it. As you can see, it blurs out what's not in the middle. So, uh, sorry, I had to sneeze. Anyway, you just want to make sure there's not a lot in the middle, or not a lot in the sides. I'm gonna do this and do that. It's a little too much still. Alright, so that's about all I really need. Just put on the outer of it. So next you can go up back to tools and you can look at lens distortion. This is only used for if you only use this if you like know what you're doing, because if not, it's gonna make it look really stupid. So you can move out the outer circle, and it makes it like if you move it all the way in, it's like getting wrapped. If you move it out, it just flattens it. You can move the inner circle too, which does the opposite. So I'm gonna put my circle in it, so it looks a lot better if you ask me. But yeah, so that's all you really need in lens. You could always, put on some spot exposure, but you don't really need that. So next we go to camera. For camera we put some crush in. For crush you just want to move it up to like, I would say red. You don't need that much red. Alright, so that's all you really need for crush. You can go up here to gamma and just like toy with that. Exposure. So already you could tell this is like a hardcore kind of this is already like a hardcore kind of CC. So after your crush, you can go back to tools, and you can, if you wish, you could throw on some curves, but I'm gonna do that in post. But yeah, we're gonna go to post now, and we got some basically. Oh wait, we've got something in this. Make sure you put on some neg bleach bypass. That looks pretty cool. It like I don't know what you want to call it, but what it does is it like calms it out a little bit. I mean, if you turn it off, you can definitely see the difference. I'm not gonna make it that high though, so you wanna like put it at like to about 8 and just make the exposure come like this. You just wanna make this something not too much. So I'll put mine right about there. So that's all you really need for neg bleach bypass and camera. For post, you can do some well, you got a couple things you can do here. One thing that you should definitely do is curves, but this is I want to make sure you guys know this is all right. Post, this is like where it gets like serious, so you have to pay attention if you're gonna do curves. So you just go to red and you just mess around with these things. As you can see, that it is getting affected. So I'm just gonna toy with these and make sure I don't move it too much, but this time I want to make sure I move it just enough. Blue. Alright, and that's basically all I really need for this. Like, if you turn each one off and see, you can see what it does. And just see if you want to cancel out any of these. So obviously Crush is doing us a big favor. Without Crush it would look like that. So thank you, Crush. Lens distortion. Edge softness. Vignette. Without vignette, it would look really powerful, so vignette really helped us out there. Spot exposure. Makes it look a lot better. And contrast. Without contrast, looks all blurry and poopy. So yeah, basically all you really need to do in Magic Look Books. After you finish everything, you can go to finished, and there you go. You have it on. And say if you want to retry something, you can always go up here to adjustment layer and just turn this off and see what it looks like. So some people make fun of my color correction choices. I love my color correction, red and powerful. So if you don't like this, then make sure you experiment with your own stuff. Don't just listen to this tutorial. But yep, this has been how to make color correction using Magic Bullet Looks and After Effects. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope it helped out. If you think it could help other people, make sure you favorite the video. If you have any additional questions, just go in the comment section and ask there, or send me a personal message. And that's about it. I'm out, guys. Peace.